Talking about the brother of In-ho, the frontman Hwang Jun Ho. You know him, right? Satisfied, if you can satisfy me in 5 minutes, I might let you leave. This was what Hwang Jun Ho said to one of the VIPs in the VIP episode. Hwang Jun Ho is a former police detective who infiltrated the South Squid Game by taking the identity of one of the workers and later as a manager and waiter to find out what happened to his missing brother, Hwang In-ho, who he believed participated in the Squid Games. He was proven right after finding out that his brother won the game in 2015 from files in the frontman's room. He later discovering that In-ho himself was the frontman after his brother unmasked himself in an effort to get Jun-ho to surrender. He later began assisting Seong Gi-hun and Choi Woo-seok in taking down the games. Unbeknownst to him, the sea captain who saved his life was either instructed or hired by In-ho to rescue Jun-ho and keep an eye on him, confirming that In-ho ensured Jun-ho's survival after their cliffside confrontation. Talking about his personality, since he is a detective, Jun-ho is and must be attentive to detail, calm under pressure, and meticulous. He demonstrates these traits when he sneaks into the Squid Game and overcomes several life-threatening challenges in his efforts to locate his missing brother. During his infiltration of the games, he is shown to be extremely brave, intelligent, determined, and stealthy, succeeding in sneaking into the games and going unnoticed for days. Showing he is very talented at his profession, he is driven by an innate sense of justice, risking his own life to end the games that he thought killed his brother, as well as delivering evidence to the police and attempting to shut the organization down for good. It is clear that throughout the series, Jun-ho is very caring for his brother and feels like he owes him in a debt of gratitude, and as In-ho gave him a kidney when he was younger, Jun-ho also likely looked up to his older brother as a source of inspiration and a role model. He was probably the main reason why Jun-ho became a police detective in the first place. Despite his caring nature, he does not hesitate to shoot number 28, a god working in the organ trafficking system, who he initially thought murdered In-ho, which he knows will eventually lead to his own cover being blown. He is also capable of intimidating others, such as the bouncer at the Halloween party club, as well as individuals involved in the Squid Game, such as the Panther Mask VIP, who he forced information out of. Even after discovering that his brother is the frontman, he still remains determined to put an end to the games, which change his brother into somebody completely different. He also keeps In-ho's identity secret from his police chief as well as Ji-hoon, lying that he never saw the frontman face, as deep down he still wishes to protect his brother. Talking about his history and backstory, Jun-hee was born in South Korea on September 13, 1992, to Mark Malsoon and an unnamed father. He is the younger half-brother of the In-ho, the two share a father. Both brothers became police officers, and it is likely that Jun-ho was inspired to become a police officer because of his brother. At some point before 2015, In-ho donated one of his kidneys to Jun-ho, suggesting that Jun-ho suffered from a kidney condition sometime prior to In-ho's entry of the 2015 games. In 2015, In-ho participated in and won the 28th Squid Game, subsequently becoming less close with his younger brother and stepmother, only occasionally contacting them. In 2020, In-ho went missing, causing his stepmother to worry and sent Jun-ho to check on him. After investigating In-ho's apartment and encountering Ji-hoon at the police station, Jun-ho grows increasingly worried and begins his search for his brother. And talking about the 2020, Jin-hyo overhears Seong Gi-hun at the police station telling the desk police officer about his Squid Game. The police does not take him seriously, so Ji-hun angrily exits the police station and leaves the Squid Game's business card behind. Jun-ho finds it later as the same card in his brother's apartment. Afterwards, he approaches Ji-hun, asking him about the story he told at the police station. Ji-hun, however, claims he made it up. Jun-ho follows up the cars that take the players to Squid Game Island and gets on the ship. He sneaks into one of the cars, killing a guard number 29 and changing into his uniform. After he throws the body overboard, he is approached by a few workers, and to avert suspicion, he tells them that he felt seasick. He is told off for speaking without being allowed to by a superior. During the Squid Game, he follows the other workers to the room where it takes place. There, he is told by a superior that he is not supposed to be there, as his job is to carry out the eliminated players. The superior tells him that they will have a talk about his mistakes later. That superior was later executed by the frontman, and Jun, who steals his mask to masquerade as a manager. Jun, who continues to search for his brother, struggling to keep his real identity secret. He finds himself amid a secret plot. Some workers are trafficking organs from the deceased players and selling them with the help of player 111, Byung-ji, a doctor who conducts surgery in exchange of info regarding the next games. The other workers involved become suspicious of Jun-ho as he asks questions about their last delivery, which he should know the answers to since worker 29, whose identity Jun-ho has taken, was present for it. Later, one of the workers forces him to remove his mask, exposing himself as an impostor. Jun-ho pulls out a gun and forces him to remove his own mask. He brings up the guy they kept talking about, a man with one kidney who they beat to death. He thinks this was his brother, who also had one kidney, as he gave the other to Jun-ho. The worker tells him the participant was a woman and that he could prove it with a list of the players and their medical records kept in the frontman's room. The worker tells him he will help find his brother and give him the money he made from selling his organ. Disgusted and angered by his crimes, Jun-ho shoots him in the head. Jun-ho succeeds in breaking into the frontman's office. Meanwhile, there is a staff roll call and it is discovered that he is missing. Whilst in the office, Jun-ho finds record of the Squid Games dating all the way back to the 80s, including a list of all the winners. He is shocked to discover that his brother won the game back in 2015. The frontman sent the workers to find Jun-ho, unaware of his identity but knowing that he is an intruder, a cop. The frontman nearly finds him, but he is interrupted by a phone call about a body being found. The frontman finds Jun-ho's police badge on the body and realizes the intruder is his younger brother. Knowing that the body is not Jun-ho's, the frontman tells the workers to incinerate the body, likely in an effort to protect Jun-ho and manage the situation himself. Jun-ho pretends to be one of the waiters for the VIPs, who also wear masks. One of the VIPs tells him to sit with him as he does not want to keep calling him for a drink. The VIP starts flirting with him and demands him to take his mask off, which he can't do as the frontman could recognize him as the intruder. Jun-ho tells the VIP that he will be killed if he removes his mask, as the workers in Squid Game are not allowed to. But the VIP does not care. Jun-ho asks him to come with him so they can be alone in another room. The VIP takes off his and promises to change Jun-ho's life if he can only within 5 minutes. Jun-ho takes out his gun and forces the VIP to tell him everything he knows about the game. Jun-ho, satisfied, has all the evidence he needs for the case on his phone, then escapes from the facility using one of the dive packs. The frontman and several workers go after him in a speedboat. He eventually reaches an unknown island. Here he calls his chief, who he asks to send backup. He also tries to send the evidence, but there is not enough signal. The frontman and workers reach the island soon after Jun-ho, and he runs higher up the island in an attempt to escape. Unfortunately, he ends up at a cliff edge and gets surrounded by workers. He takes out his gun and warns that the police and the Coast Guard are on the way. The frontman arrives and tells him to give his phone or he will die. He explains that he knows Jun-ho has only one bullet remaining in his gun due to police regulations. He comes closer to Jun-ho, causing Jun-ho, unaware of the frontman's true identity, to fire his last bullet at him, hitting the frontman's shoulder. The frontman withstands the gunshot and tells Jun-ho to come with him and do as he says so that he can live. Jun-ho asks him who he is, to which the frontman takes off his mask. The frontman is revealed to be In-ho, Jun-ho's missing brother. Shocking Jun-ho, In-ho asks him again to come with him, but Jun-ho shakes his head, aware that it has to appear that he kills Jun-ho. In-ho shoots his brother non-fatally in the shoulder, and Jun-ho falls into the ocean below. In-ho walks to the edge of the cliff and looks for the brother in the water, showing clear guilt at his actions. It is revealed in season 2 that he hired a fisherman, albeit a double agent, to rescue Jun-ho from the water. In 2020 or slash 2024, Jun-ho survived the fall after being saved by Sea Captain Park. Unbeknownst to Jun-ho, the captain was hired by his brother to save him and keep an eye on him. In the 3 years that followed, he gave up his job investigating major crimes and became a traffic cop. One day at work, the girlfriend of someone Jun-ho pulled over flirts with him, angering the man who drove off on his bike. He has a conversation with his police chief, who believes Jun-ho's story about the Squid Games but cannot help him as there is a lack of evidence. The chief then tries to convince Jun-ho to come back to the majority crimes unit, but he declines. On his mother's request, he visits and delivers flowers to the grave of In-ho's wife on the anniversary of her death, and is saddened by the pictures of his brother and her smiling. Later, Jun-ho has dinner with his mother, who blamed herself for In-ho's disappearance, though Jun-ho made clear neither of them were at fault for what happened to him. While trying to track down the recruiter, Ji-hoon speeds in his car, which results in Jun-ho forcing him to pull over. He remembers Ji-hoon upon checking his records on the computer and goes to the pink metal for a meeting with him. He then hears a gunshot, the recruiter killing himself, and goes to the room Ji-hoon is in and immediately notices the recruiter's body. Jun-ho initially suspects Ji-hoon of killing the man and attempts to arrest him on the suspicion of murder before being knocked unconscious by Choi Woo-seok. He later wakes up wakes up handcuffed to the shower, and Ji-hoon remembers the detective upon seeing his police ID. Remembering when they met outside Ji-hoon's house. Jun-ho corrects him by informing him they have met twice, the other time being on the island the games take place on. Ji-hoon asked Jun-ho if he was one of the staff before Jun-ho clarifies that he was only there to look for his missing brother. Jun-ho then asked who the man that he thought Ji-hoon killed was, but Ji-hoon informs him that he simply lost the game. Ji-hoon then tells Jun-ho about his plan to try to stop the game. When asked by Jun-ho how he will do it, Ji-hoon reveals he will meet up with the overseer of the games, asking Jun-ho who he was. Jun-ho replies that it is the one the workers call captain, but denies seeing his face to protect his brother. Ji-hoon unhandcuffs Jun-ho and agrees to let him help him take down the games. And while initially skeptical of working with the police, his associate Woo Seo-go's friend and fellow associate Kim Jong-rae was killed by the recruiter, supports Jun-ho helping them out. Jun-ho resigns from his job in order to help the team take down the Squid Games, as his superiors and the police officer continue to not believe him. They come up with the strategy of Ji-hoon installing a tracker in a tooth so Jun-ho can monitor Ji-hoon's whereabouts on the island, but this plan fails after the tracker ended up in a tin of fishing worms on one of the islands, which Captain Park tripped off to the Squid Game staff. While Ji-hoon is in a meeting room with the frontman in a car, Jun-ho and his men attempt to follow the frontman's car but are prevented from doing so when their cars get disabled by soldiers. Right before red light green light begins, Ji-hoon realizes that his plan is already compromised and the tracker is missing. Jun-ho believed that Sea Captain Park had saved his life after falling from the cliff into the sea. However, Park was either instructed or hired by the frontman to rescue Jun-ho and to keep an eye on him. Though Jun-ho is not yet aware of Park's true intentions, the team continued to try and locate the island, but to no avail. Jun-ho and In-ho have yet to reunite after their cliffside confrontation, and it is likely that season 3 will address the conflict and betrayal that haunt their once close relationship. Talking about the murders committed, in the episode The Man with the Umbrella, character worker number 29 was strangled, and in a Fair World episode, worker number 28 was shot in the head. In a trivia, according to Hwang In-ho's 28 Squid Game player file, Jun-ho was in university during 2015. Hwang Jun Ho and the subplot with Hwang In-ho were not in the original script. They were only added after the decision for Squid Game to be a series instead of a movie. Behind the scenes, Hwang Jun Ho is portrayed by actor Lee Ha-jun. According to the appearances in season 1, he was in the Hell, The Man with the Umbrella script of the team, A Fair World, the Gangbo VIP's frontman. In season 2, he was in the Bread and Lottery Halloween Party 001, Six Legs, One More Game, OX. If you like the video, go subscribe.